with your help, developing campaigns and programs using the power of promotional products, or dimensional marketing products, as I like to call them. Promotional products are the only advertising medium that touches all 5 of the human senses. And people actually thank you when you give them your ad. Power. Did you know that 80% of all of us keep a promotional umbrella because it's useful? Did you know that 91% of all of us keep a promotional product or a dimensional marketing product in our own kitchens? And did you know that across all ages, branded outerwear is a top 5 influential promotional product? So there is going to be a quiz on this one, because for the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks including this one, I have listed 3 or 4 statistics. The quiz is, of those statistics that I've listed every week, only one has been repeated all 3 times. When my contact information comes up at the end of the presentation, the first email that I get with the correct answer is going to win a very special prize of Promo Paul's Power Swag. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you on that. All right, so rather than listen to me spew statistics and other stuff for the rest of the presentation, I have invited 2 of my favorite apparel company suppliers to join me. Both of them have high-end, high-quality products. And I don't want you to confuse high-end and high quality with high price. They may mention what their MSRPs are. I don't want you to confuse that with what you're going to end up paying. That's all I'm going to say. To start out, we have Kelly, the regional sales director from Charles River Apparel. Charles River is based on the East Coast. They have a retail presence from Maine to Florida, and they're in resorts across the country. If you listen to NPR, you may have heard them listed as a contributor to NPR. And then we'll have Kyle. He is the director of sales at StormTech. StormTech also has a retail presence, and I qualify them this way. StormTech is in Canada what the North Face is here in the United States. They have wonderful, wonderful products. Both companies do. So with no further ado, I'm going to turn the camera over to Kelly from Charles River Apparel.
Thank you, Paul. I've always wanted to do this, this fashion show. Thanks for welcoming me to it, and I'll start now.
Oh.
Yeah, welcome to the fashion show. You can tell I've got a slight amount of Zoom fatigue. So we're getting a little crazy, and I really wanted to create a fashion show. In my head, that came off so much better than it did in person. But happy to be here with you. Appreciate it, Paul, and it's so good to see all you. And to share with you some more information about Charles River. You may have heard of us. I do have a dog right here. It's wearing a raincoat. We really have doggy raincoats. We sell the #1 best-selling raincoat in the country. It's called the New Englander. And I'll share that with you as well. I'll move the dog. I'll share my screen here real quickly. Should be all ready for you. A real quick recap about Charles River. You know, we sell apparel. We've been around for 28 years selling in retail. That's where we got our start. But we moved into this ASI promotional market about 15 years ago. And we were really well received. We're about #6 for top manufacturers in this space, but we've really kept a little bit of a foothold in the retail market as well. This gives us a lot of information about what's trending, what styles are trending, what colors are trending, how it's working in retail will tell us how it's going to work for you in the business world. we know that it's very important to make a piece that's super comfortable, that's super designed for a woman and designed for a man. We even have unisex pieces, but we really started designing for women first 28 years ago. And instead of making a product and then cutting it down for a woman, we designed specifically for men and women. And this has really helped our brand grow. People love the fit and the feel. So one thing we've stayed focused on is, how does it wear? How does it feel when you're wearing it? How does it look? And does it fit a large demographic? You know, my college age daughters, myself, my mother, I mean, it crosses the demographic. Classic styles at a really great price. Wearables are so important too in the promotional products world, because you're a billboard for your company. And we find that we get a lot of extra looks. If you do the math, fun math, our company has sold, well, it's been over 4 million. Raincoat says 2.5 now, but the raincoat, that's equivalent to 15 billion impressions, because that logo on an outerwear gets a lot of views, and it can really keep selling your brand. Real quick about Charles River, I already told you we started in retail, but we've been spotted all over the country. There's Oprah Winfrey wearing our New Englander raincoat. She also selected our Logan raincoat as one of her favorite things in 2017. Some local Boston officials wearing the raincoat. Here's a presidential candidate wearing one of our heathered fleece quarter zips. We've been featured in Beauty and Style magazine for our rainwear. And also Below Deck, I know you won't admit it if you do watch it on Bravo. I know I never admit it, but it's about a $30 million yacht, and the people working the boat are wearing one of our polos, and it's super inexpensive, but it has a super high-end look to it. Charles River is different because we're really philanthropic. It's always been part of who we are. We give back. We have certain styles tied to specific charities. We've given over 18,000 apparel pieces away, $343,000, and have donated a lot of man hours to a variety of charities. I wanted to share that with you before we got into some of the styles. This is the fun part, right? Our New Englander is, like I said, the best-selling raincoat. It's a beautiful waterproof raincoat. We really specialize in outerwear, and this really encompasses that New England styling. This shows you how we've moved from the 80s into, 2020. Different colors, including a leopard print. Like, who doesn't love leopard print? But we keep moving. We're constantly bringing out new colors, new styles, and we have every color that you can think of, and constantly adding new colors. We even have children's raincoats, and as you saw earlier, we have a doggy raincoat. I wanted to share with you some of the one of our best-selling pieces here that is actually really practical too. This is a little fanny pack. It's a little jacket that you can wear. It has a hood, some great pockets, but it packs away into a little fanny pack that you can wear around your shoulder or your waist. It's a great gift idea for employees. It's also great for, milder temperatures. We specialize in the gift category, and here are some of our featured pieces in that gift space. So even something like down here, can you guys see this okay?
Yes.
Even this crazy tie-dye, I mean, how fun is that? This is a good example of how we really try to stay up on new styles. It's super fun. You can throw a logo up high with everyone zooming. People really want to be able to kind of express themselves, but also represent the companies that they work for. And I've seen some great little logos put up high on this really high fashion piece. We have fuzzy pieces. These are in the unisex category. And we also have a dress shirt. But this isn't like any other dress shirt. It has a stretch to it. It washes and wears beautifully. And it's very similar to the Untuckit. The Untuckit comes in at about $90, and this is a fraction of that, you know, in the $40 range. So a great dress shirt that you don't have to place an iron on, super comfortable. And we take time to really make that piece very specific to the men and to the women. Women tend to appreciate more of a 3/4 sleeve. So here you have a 3/4 sleeve, where the men really wanted the full sleeve with a little collar that you can flip up and show the gingham. But it's nice and stretchy, super soft, wash and wear. And that's a great piece. It kind of hits that corporate image that you're trying to present. I did want to show you our brand new styles. These are brand new and really trending right now, our new fall styles. This is a waterproof parka, super thin. Every seam is taped, and it has a little blocking here so that the logo can really pop. We've got more to show on that in the end of this flyer, but here's a new sweater that we made. It is in stock now. It says available 10:30, but they just arrived. We know the men wanted a pullover and the women wanted more of a full zip. So we provide 3 of our best-selling colors on new pieces, gray, black, and navy. And it's a great price point, super soft. And even if the ladies wanted to get into the full zip or the pullover, they can do that too. We went down into an extra small. So that's brand new in stock. These have just arrived. Fun tie-dye. We also made a great little crew neck sweatshirt. These are great to throw on a Zoom call, throwing the logo up high or in the middle. And then we have here a 1/4 zip. We went a little further though, almost a 1/2 zip heathered fleece. We have an entire collection around this heathered fleece styling, which is frankly Patagonia make-alike, I like to say. So it's that great Patagonia look, but at a fraction of the price. So here you see this is $52. I'm sure you've seen Patagonia well over $100. So this piece happens to have a hood, but we have 1/4 zips. We have an entire collection around the Patagonia with a hood, without a hood, a vest, even a full zip version. I know not everyone, including myself, sometimes I like to wear a full zip, so we've got that option for you too. And it's really affordable and super soft, washable, snag resistant, just a great piece.
Kelly, if I could interrupt, I'm wearing the vest right now.
I love it. That looks great. Vests are so in right now too, Paul. It's just a really trending thing. I love them. This is more of a fleecy vest, a long fuzzy fleece, but I love that. It looks great on you.
And Kyle, I wore a Storm Tech jacket into the building. Just
to be fair. Our Sherpa crew, it's just a super soft crew neck that is available in 3 colors. This is unisex, so the guys like it too. And this particular piece here is the same great sort of poodle-like fleece. It's got a neater lower pile to it, but it's full zip and it's cut like a bomber style jacket, like this one. So you can see the bottom where you've got a little bit of a band here. Just to keep going here, we've got an Oxford. We call these 1/4 zips, but you could call it a 1/2 zip. Super comfy, oversized, pardon me. And this is our anorak. It's a pullover with a neat little jersey knit lining. We have women's to match this cut as well. And back to those jackets, just a great winter jacket. You know, a lot of times companies will put the logo on the quarter zip or the main layering garment, and they forget to provide a jacket to the employees, and the employees are usually out in front of the customers on these soon-to-be winter days. It's nice to have a piece out there with your company logo, either on the bicep or on the chest, or even on the hip. We get really creative with logo placements, and we love working with Paul. He's a premier top supplier distributor for us here in the Midwest. So he's very creative with all that. We do have youth pieces. We have new item ads that we came out with for the women, new colors, brand new leopard colored raincoat. How fun. It doesn't have to be boring. Your apparel can be fun, it can be unique, and can also serve a purpose. As things get more casual, pieces like this are becoming more and more popular in the workplace, and as we're hiring younger people, this is what they want. So we try to really cover everyone, try to give you enough options so that you're able to really keep everybody happy. Paul, how are we doing on time?
You got about 5 minutes.
Perfect. I want to share with you what came out in spring, because I think this is one of our best launches this year, and we had a little bit of an abbreviation due to COVID. We stayed open. We are deemed essential, thank goodness. We service a lot of frontline workers. But I always like to share some of our spring styles because they didn't get the typical launch they normally get. We really listen to our customers. We understand people wanted a cotton polo, so we made one. This is a slub cotton. We laundered it 6 times before we cut it into pattern. We wanted to make sure it doesn't shrink. We wanted to make sure it fits you great, that if you get sizing samples and check things out, that whatever you choose is going to be the size after, washing it. I also wanted to point out how we build for men and women. Men love polos, and guys look great in polos. Women, we tend to struggle with the polo and the collar, the hard collar, the sleeves. So we just adjusted our polo for the women, giving her a more feminine neckline and a longer 3/4 sleeve. And of course, a longer tail and a split seam, so that, if she needs a little extra room in the hips, we've got her covered. So this piece has done really well for us, very reasonable, as you can see. And this is a closer look at the dress shirt I mentioned earlier, where we've just got this great sleeve here, a little gingham on the cuff. There's a little bit on the inside of the seam. You're welcome to wear it tucked in. Some of the older people like me, I wear it tucked in, but we wanted it to be comfortable for those who wear it on the outside too. So you have that option. Lots of colors. Sometimes people want a solid color backdrop for their logo. So we did provide black and solid. The others are slightly heathered, the other colors. So full zip jacket, super perfect for this time of the year. A little extra fleece on the inside, zipper closure pockets on the outside, and more pockets on the inside. Pockets are key right now. People just love them. And then back to that fanny pack and go. Wind and water resistant, a great little piece that is really practical too. I have one, I love it. People are raving about how they use their fanny pack and go. So I hope this gives you a good idea of who we are, how we build, how we continue to bring new styles out that are trending and that will keep you covered and looking good on the job. And with that, I'll turn it over to Paul.
Thank you, Kelly, very much. Nice presentation. I've gotten several requests. I'm going to ask you to send me the flyer information. I'll share that with people if that's okay.
Absolutely.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
And next up is Kyle from Storm Tech. Again, I did wear a Storm Tech building.
We'll get you to model later, Paul. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you. Great job, Kelly. Thanks for Courtney and everybody else on the call here today. I am going to, just at the top, I'm going to be sharing my presentation out as well, Paul. So nobody needs to take notes. If you feel so inclined, I'll be providing the presentation.
Okay.
With that, I'm going to share my screen here. And I know this is obviously an end user presentation. So I did want to, all right.
User is an industry term for all you people watching. The end user of a product.
And it's not letting me go into slideshow view. Resume slideshow. There it is. So I'm just going to start with a brief background, who StormTech is, how we kind of position ourselves in the market. Again, I don't know how familiar everybody is, so I thought this was pertinent. If you guys, some of you may be familiar, some maybe not. We are a Canadian-based company. We have been around for a long time. Over 40 years. We're one of the largest, if not the largest, promotional apparel supplier in Canada. One of the fastest growing in the United States. If you have seen our products before, you should be able to tell right away that we are not your typical promotional apparel supplier, in the sense that we're not really dealing in commodities, or we're not really dealing in sort of traditional corporate uniform type apparel. Everything that we develop is built for performance. The typical customer purchasing StormTech product is looking for an alternative to brands like North Face, Lululemon, Nike, Patagonia, Under Armour. And some of those companies have found a way to make it work in the promotional product space. Most of them have not. And that's kind of where we come in. We have the same types of products, the same high-end, built for performance products, with solutions that work for the promotional products industry. What I mean by that is inventory. It's one of the main issues people have with a lot of the retail brands. We have very deep inventory. We have something called our inventory assurance styles, which is a few dozen styles where we'll actually keep 2 to 3 years worth of inventory sitting on the shelf. We have a matching ladies companion piece for almost everything in the line. And we'll also go up to 5XL in almost every single style in at least 1 or 2 colors, typically black, navy, and gray. We're also decorating in-house. So this is one of the major issues that you have with some of the retail brands. You buy a $150, $200 jacket, you send it to a decorator, they haven't tested the decoration. So it's important that when you're buying a high-end product, you're making sure that whoever is decorating knows what they're doing. So we're doing embroidery in-house, screen printing in-house. We do what's called a premium seamless heat transfer in-house as well. And that allows you to capture those really, really tricky logos that have bright, vivid colors, gradients, fine freestanding text. We're also doing laser etched leather patches, which is this sort of design here at the top right, which looks great on a lot of our urban streetwear pieces and a lot of the puffy thermal jackets. We do also offer fully custom designs and private label options as well, which I'll touch on a little bit later on. But anytime you're buying a StormTech product, you should feel very comfortable and very confident in the quality of the product. And this is something we really, really stand behind. There's a reason we offer a 5-year manufacturer warranty. We have a fairly robust sustainability story as well, which I can send additional details on afterwards. And we do have a philosophy of giving back as well, which I'll touch on later on in this presentation. So without further ado, I will get into the new products for fall 2020. And some of you may have noticed that a lot of your favorite brands are not delivering new products for the fall 2020 season, or pulling back. We are not. This is one of our hugest, largest launches ever. We're taking very deep inventory positions going into peak season. So I'm not going to get into all these products. I'll just keep it very top level, but we do have 12 new apparel items available both in men's and ladies, 3 new standalone women's pieces, 10 new bags and packs, and of course, we've got performance-based coverings as well. And that's when I'm going to start my presentation. I'm not going to go into any specific detail on any 1 or 2 masks. Just know that a lot of customers, a lot of people like yourselves who have been wearing masks for a long time are starting to gravitate away from those basic sort of single-ply cotton masks as we're all sort of grappling with the reality that this virus may be around for longer than we anticipate, people are steering more towards these types of masks. Okay, these high-end, 3-ply, comfortable, sophisticated masks that provide elevated protection. So we've got 3-ply masks, accordion-style masks available both in adult and youth sizes. On the left-hand side here, or maybe it's your right, we also have a bandana and a gaiter as well. So just know that if you are looking for more of a high-end retail-esque type mask, we probably have one of the best, if not the best masks offering in the promotional products, and I would argue in the retail channel as well. So on the apparel side, I'm going to start with 3-in-1 jackets, and if you guys aren't familiar with that term, 3-in-1 just refers to any jacket that sort of has a zip-out lining. This is a huge category for us. It's actually the largest source of revenue for StormTech in both Canada and the United States. And it's a very practical piece, especially going into the winter months. But it is a true 3-season jacket in the sense that in the wintertime, you can wear the waterproof shell with the liner zipped in. In the fall or spring, depending on whether it's raining, you can either wear the shell with that waterproof protection, or you can wear the puffy jacket on its own. Okay, so the first one up I'm going to be talking about, actually the only one I'm going to be talking about today, is the Epsilon system jacket. Just by looking at it, you can tell, it's built for performance. You've got a lot of dynamic cut and sew detailing in the outer shell, high waterproof rating, high breathability. All of the external zippers that you see have also been are waterproof, entirely waterproof. So you get elevated protection from the elements. A lot of suppliers in this particular category, they'll use sort of a basic zip out fleece liner. We are not doing that. We've used a very high quality, very warm, soft, comfortable quilted jacket that zips in and out of the outer shell. So you've got a great sort of standalone piece, whether you're wearing just the jacket, just the puffy jacket, just the shell, or both combined. And as Paul mentioned, high price points don't always mean that you're going to be paying, hand over fist on a lot of these products. So this is a $350 retail price point, expensive even by our standards. But Paul's a great partner of ours. You guys would not be paying $350 on a jacket like this. And then next up, we get into the thermals. So thermal outerwear is a category that for the longest time, these quilted jackets, everybody just assumed that it was the outdoor enthusiasts that were gravitating here. And you'd only suggest that type of product if it was somebody in that realm. That's not the case. Quilted jackets appeal to a huge customer base. High fashion buyers, millennial buyers that buy more urban streetwear pieces. The quilted jackets on the right or left, I don't know which side you're seeing, obviously geared more towards that workwear buyer as well. So it's important not to pigeonhole this category one way or the other. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the Aspen hybrid jacket. We call it the hybrid jacket, or hybrid category refers to any product where you have this sort of quilted body in the core and then a high stretch sleeve. Really, really popular at retail right now because it's extremely popular. You get the quilting in the body, which keeps your core body temperature up. You have a water resistant coating in the body as well. So you've got protection from the elements, and then freedom of movement with that high stretch. Kelly referred to a Patagonia style fabric, same type of concept here. Okay, so that is a $90 retail price point for the Aspen. And then we have the Hamilton thermal shell and vest. As I mentioned before, it's important not to pigeonhole any of these pieces, but this one in particular, when you look at it, you think, this is more of a workwear style piece, kind of like a Dickies or a Carhartt or a Dry Duck. All of those lifestyle brands and others recognize that this type of product, appeals to an audience well beyond the work site. So for this type of item, you get that crossover sale, depending on, what employee you're shopping for. This is great for sort of that blue collar crowd that's looking for those types, that sort of hard wearing cotton canvas product, but also more of the in tune fashion forward buyer, especially, that millennial buyer that's looking for sort of that urban streetwear piece that's, comfortable and practical. This is something that is 100% HD cotton canvas, and it does have a water resistant coating. So it is very much something that can be worn on the work site. But again, it is also designed for more of that in tune fashion forward buyer. The jacket is going to run you about $200 retail, and the vest is going to run you about $130 retail. And we have this in solid colors, and we have it in mossy oak. And then we get into performance fleece and layering. This was a category that was booming for us before the pandemic, and has done surprisingly, I guess I shouldn't say surprisingly, better than anticipated during the pandemic, but for good reason if you think about it. There's not a lot of trade shows happening. I'm sure a lot of your trade shows and events at the office or elsewhere have been canceled or postponed. So people are not necessarily gravitating towards polos and button downs the way that they were before the pandemic. But this category is doing well because a lot of people, I'm sure like a lot of people on the call here today, are working from home. And this type of product provides at-home comfort. It's comfortable to wear it on the couch or at your desk, wherever you may work. But also as people feel a little bit more comfortable to go outside or explore their local parks, especially as the weather starts to turn, this type of category provides freedom of movement, moisture management, and some level of protection from the elements as well. So it's, again, a very practical piece, particularly in this climate, in this context. So the first one up is the Kodiak knit jacket. It's a really cool, we call it a tri-blend fabric, so really cool outer shell, but it's bonded to a very soft, high stretch micro fleece on the inside. So again, comfortable to wear in the house, but also has more of that outdoor rugged appeal. I'm sure you guys have heard of the Patagonia Better sweater, which is kind of an iconic piece for that brand. I like to think of this as sort of the next generation of the Patagonia Better sweater. It really has sort of that signature outdoor retail look without the retail price points. This is $110, whereas the Better sweater usually starts at around $150 retail. This is the Kyoto jacket, personally my favorite out of the new fleece pieces. You've got that really cool sort of matrix print throughout the fabric. Really good for temperature control. So it actually, the way that it's designed, it traps the hot air around the body, but it's also a high stretch fabrication. So it keeps that hot air around the body, but if you're moving around, whether it's on the golf course or jogging, whatever it may be, that hot air can escape as well. So that's why we say it's great for temperature control. There's also a water resistant coating in this jacket, so you get protection from the elements, and a really cool sort of dynamic look in all these cut and sew detail lines, and a lot of technology here for a $90 retail price point. Again, I'm mentioning retail price points. This is not what you would pay if you're working with Paul on these types of purchases. And then I'm going to touch on women's premium casual. There's 3 new standalone pieces. I'm probably only going to touch on 2 today. But this is a huge category for us in terms of a long-term product development strategy. And there's a reason that we're focusing on women's premium casual. It just makes sense. Women make up 50%, at least 50% of the workforce in the United States. I think most of the women on the call here today would probably argue that some of the promotional apparel items that they've received are not really designed with feminine silhouettes or feminine design elements in mind. Kelly had touched on some of those earlier pretty eloquently, and she was bang on. But there's a reason we're focusing here. There's a huge opportunity. A lot of the products that are developed in the promotional products channel are geared more towards men, and then they'll shrink it or introduce it in a pink or a bright color and call it a women's piece. And we're not doing that anymore. So we're really focusing on feminine silhouettes and uniquely feminine design elements. So we have a whole host of standalone women's options available in key categories like corporate casual, work leisure, athleisure. But we also try to incorporate unique female design elements across the board, whether it's a polo, a fleece, a thermal jacket. We're not just taking that men's piece, shrinking it, introducing it in pink, and voila, we have a women's piece. There's a lot of thought and product development that goes into these women's styles. So the first one up is the Soho cardigan. This is a standalone women's piece. We came up with something similar last year, did very, very well. Now we're introducing it in a blended fabric, a cotton nylon. And this shape, Kelly mentioned a similar product, is very good for shape retention. So you wash it, it's not going to shrink. You put it on and off a number of times. It's not going to stretch out. And also color fastening. So if you buy the black one, you wash it a few times, it's not going to fade to gray. And you can decorate this product, and we recommend decorating this product with our laser etched leather patches. And you don't have to do it on the lapel, you don't have to do it on the chest. You can actually do it looped around the hem. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but you could do it sort of in this area, or you can do it on the cuff. And that is a $55 retail price point. And then you have the Belfast sweater, same sort of fabrication, same attention to feminine features and fit. A great sort of work leisure piece. It's formal enough to wear in the office, but still comfortable and practical. And you know, a little bit more forgiving in terms of the fit. It fits where it needs to. We call it fully fashioned armhole, so it fits where it needs to, but also provides that freedom of movement. And that's a $50 retail price point. And then just really quickly, it looks like I'm going long. I'm not going to go into bags in a lot of detail or any one specific bag. Just know that bags is a huge category for StormTech. A lot of people think of us for our technical outerwear. This is our fastest growing category by a very large margin. And in the last year, we've actually introduced more bags than apparel items, which was a huge milestone for us. This category here, which is our waterproof bags, probably is the category we're best known for. Done very well even during the pandemic, because this fabric can be washed down, disinfected without damaging the valuables. So if you guys are thinking about getting a bag as a holiday gift, or a welcome back or new hire kit, that's a great added value feature in this climate and in this context. And then we have more of these sort of urban streetwear pieces, more fashion forward items at great price points. A lot of the brands that are coming to market with this type of look and feel, their duffels, for example, will start at $150, $200. This one retails for $55. And just to finish this off, we also, I mentioned before, we do custom or private label options. We can do that for you guys as well. If you don't want the StormTech logo on there, you want it fully custom, you want a dye to match fabric, you want your logo on the zipper pull and areas where we couldn't do it domestically, we can do a fully custom piece for you. Just keep in mind there are, and Paul can share more information afterwards, but anytime you go overseas with a product, there's longer lead times. In this case, you're looking at about 100 to 110 days. And there's minimums as well. You can't just order 12 fully custom pieces. In the case of the waterproof bags that are on the screen right now, the minimum order quantity is 300 pieces. So that's something to keep in mind if you wanted something fully custom, whether it's a bag or a custom jacket, something like this. There's going to be minimums involved and lead times. This is the last slide I'm going to show you guys. We have produced a holiday gift guide personally for Halo. Paul is a member of a group called Halo. And you'll see it's an interactive gift guide. You'll see items like this, just some really good suggestions of categories, in this case, the thermal outerwear category and associated accessories that make really good holiday gifts. So we'll make that available after the presentation as well. And that is it for me. I'm going to stop sharing my screen at this point. I wasn't actually monitoring the chat function there, but I'll take a look right now, see if there's any open questions.
Kyle, I've been monitoring it and taking notes.
Okay.
And I will be, if you see something that I missed, chime in. People have been asking for color keys and catalog information.
Okay.
Sending all of that out from both your products and Kelly's products.
Okay.
After this presentation is over.
Yeah, I actually, I eliminated some of the products, Paul, that are new for fall 20, but in the presentation that I send you, those twirl shots, the models going around, you'll have that for every single product that we've introduced for fall 20. So I'll make that available to you in a share link if you want to send it out to the group.
And I will share this with the group. That twirl shot stuff, I've seen the presentation you're talking about. That's pretty cool, the way that you guys put that together. That's
Well, it was either that, Paul, or I was going to come out and I'm not as good as Kelly when it comes to modeling products. I don't think anybody would want to see that.
Well, thank you both very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Before we let y'all go, Kelly and Kyle have both offered some very nice door prizes. Kelly's got a vest and a quarter zip sweater that we'll be offering, and Kyle has offered a one gift option of up to $150 MSRP. We'll do what we did the last couple weeks. I'm actually going to throw a dart at Courtney or Alex's computer screen to pick the winners of the door prizes. And I'm going to announce last week's door prizes right now, if that's okay. And Courtney, if you could pop my contact information up there. Okay. Last week's door prizes were Marcy Lemieux from Umacore won the cooler from Starline, and
Nice.
Christina from Vast Stratec won the cinnamon walnut coffee cake from Maple Ridge Farms. Rich, I can't guarantee that the whole thing will make it to you, but I'll do my best. Well, thank you all for joining us today for the last 2 weeks. For those who have been on it with us for the whole thing, I really do appreciate it. Everything we've done was geared towards holiday gift giving and fourth quarter planning for into 2021. And if anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to contact me. Courtney had my contact information up there. I'm going to do this, and Gene can yell at me later. If you need to get a hold of me and you don't have my contact information, you can call the chamber, the Auburn Hills Chamber, and get a hold of me.
Definitely. And I did pop your contact information into the chat, Paul, so everyone should have your email and phone number there.
Perfect. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Promo Paul. Give me a call.